My name is Ethan Vance, and I'm currently sunbathing on the quiet lawns behind Ethelgard Academy. The sun feels good, warm. It's been 3 days since I became the consort to Seraphina Blackwood, the dean of the academy. In those 3 days, I've eaten like a king and slept like a log. There's just one tiny problem. It's too peaceful. So peaceful that my system interface has been completely silent. The ultimate trophy husband system host, Ethan Vance power level. Mortal mission. As a proper trophy husband, please strive to be humiliated, despised, and beaten by others. Reward. Based on the severity of the humiliation, you'll be awarded power, techniques, or artifacts. That's right. My personal cheat code is just that simple. All I have to do is lie back and take abuse, and I get stronger. The problem is, who the hell would dare abuse me? I'm Seraphina Blackwood's man. And who's Seraphina? She's the dean of Ethelgard, the undisputed most powerful mage in the ascended world, a woman who can literally freeze a man solid with a single glare. 3 days ago, in front of the entire magical community, she announced she was taking me as her consort. Everyone lost their minds. Me, a mortal with zero power? Why? At the time, I was ecstatic. I thought my golden ticket had arrived. Humiliation, scorn, beatings. The whole buffet was about to be served right to my door, wasn't it? But then, Seraphina just swept her cold gaze across the crowd. Just one look. The entire hall fell dead silent. And just like that, the deal was sealed. And I became the one person in the entire ascended world that nobody dared to mess with. This life is impossible. I lie back on the grass, one leg crossed over the other, chewing on a blade of grass with a look of utter despair. I have to do something. I need to actively stir up some trouble. Well, if it isn't the dean's consort, enjoying the sun all by your lonesome, you've certainly got it made. A voice dripping with sarcasm cut through the silence. My eyes lit up. It's happening. I turn my head and see a young man in the uniform of an Ethelgard Inner Circle student, leaning on his sword and eyeing me sideways. He's not bad-looking, but the jealousy on his face is so thick you could cut it with a knife. I recognize him. Kevin Miller, one of Seraphina's most obsessive admirers from the Inner Circle. My man, I'm counting on you. I lazily sit up, brushing the grass off my clothes. Oh, it's you. Need something. I say, my tone as punchable as I can make it. Kevin's face darkens a shade. Can't I just have a chat with the dean's esteemed husband? He puts a heavy emphasis on the word husband. Don't, I say, waving my hand dismissively. I'm just a mortal, not worthy of the title. You mages meditate for decades at a time. By the time you're done, the grass on my grave will be 10 feet tall. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. My words are dripping with the sour grapes of a powerless mortal and a clear disdain for the magically gifted. It works like a charm. Kevin's fists clench. You're just a mortal who got lucky, catching the dean's eye. What right do you have to look down on us? System notification. Verbal humiliation detected. Reward. Power plus 10. The system's chime rings in my head. Here we go. I'm celebrating on the inside, but on the outside, my face is a mask of pure, shameless indifference. I do look down on you. So what? You people struggle and train for centuries, fighting to the death for what? In the end, your goddess still has to come home and warm my bed. How's that for frustrating? The words are designed to hit him where it hurts. I'm probably the only person in the world who can talk about being a kept man with such righteous pride. You're shameless. Kevin's face is beet red, his whole body trembling as he points a finger at me. System notification. Intense verbal humiliation detected. Reward. Power plus 20. Sweet. Time to add more fuel to the fire. I stand up, walk over to him, and pat his cheek with my hand. Listen, kid, don't point at me. Right now, I'm the master, and you're the servant. Got it? Even if I told you to get on your knees and polish my shoes, you'd have to do it. You're asking for it. Kevin snaps. The mana around him erupts, and he throws a punch straight at my face. I can even feel the sting of the air displacement on my skin. My mind is already racing with calculations. This punch has to be worth at least 100 power, right? If he seriously injures me, maybe the system will drop a legendary technique on me. I don't even blink, just wait for the glorious impact. Come on, hit me with your best shot, and then the fist stops inches from my nose. It wasn't Kevin who stopped it. It was a hand, a slender, pale hand, that had clamped down on his wrist. My heart sinks. I am screwed. The temperature of the air plummets. The warm, sunny lawn suddenly feels like a walk-in freezer. I stiffly turn my head. Serafina is standing right beside me, dressed in white, her face an icy mask. When did she get here? I didn't sense a thing. The moment Kevin sees her, the anger on his face dissolves into pure terror. He starts shaking like a leaf in a hurricane. Dee. Serafina doesn't look at him. Her eyes are on my face. Was he going to hit you? Her voice is flat, betraying no emotion. What am I supposed to say? I can't exactly say, yeah, I told him to. Let him go, so I can level up. I have no choice but to put on my best victim face and nod meekly. The look in Serafina's eyes gets even colder. She turns to Kevin, and the hand gripping his wrist gives a gentle squeeze. Crack! The sound of shattering bone. Kevin lets out a blood-curdling scream as his entire arm twists at an unnatural angle. AGHH. Annoying. Serafina flicks her other hand. Kevin's scream cuts off abruptly. His entire body is encased in ice, his face frozen in an expression of agony. I watch the whole thing, my heart turning to ice right along with him. My 100 power, my legendary technique, gone. You, Serafina says, releasing the ice sculpture and speaking with cold detachment. For assaulting a superior, your power is stripped. You will spend the next century contemplating your actions on the Frostfawn cliffs. With that, she doesn't spare Kevin another glance, turning to me instead. Let's go back. Her tone is still flat, as if she just took out the trash. What can I say? I can only follow behind her, my head hung in defeat. Day one of my concert life. Plan A. Get beaten up, officially a failure. Not only did it fail, but I also lost a premium provider of quality humiliation. I look at Serafina's back, a wave of misery washing over me. This life is truly impossible. Back in Serafina's personal quarters, the apex sanctum, she sits on her high-back chair and starts reading. A glowing tome floats in the air before her, pulsing with faint light. She seems to have completely forgotten what just happened. But I can't. I have to make things clear. I begin, trying to find the right words. Serafina doesn't even raise her eyes. Speak. That guy earlier. He wasn't really going to hit me. Don't you think the punishment was a little harsh? I ask cautiously. She finally looks up. Her eyes are like calm, deep pools, but they make my skin crawl. He disrespected you, she says. It's not a question, it's a statement. But I'm fine. The thought alone is a capital offense. Her tone is casual, as if she's commenting on the weather. I am speechless. Wow, just having the thought is a death sentence. How is anyone supposed to function? Who's going to dare come within 10 feet of me now? What about my system missions? Serafina, I say, deciding to lay my cards on the table, or at least half of them. We need to talk. She raises an eyebrow, seemingly surprised that I would use her first name. She waves her hand, and the tome flies back to its shelf. About what? About me. I take a deep breath. Look, I know you think that because I'm your man, you have to protect me. But I'm a grown man, being coddled like this. What does it make me look like? What will other people think? I appeal to her reason, to her emotions, try to awaken some small shred of common sense. I want people to look down on me, not treat me like a fragile, endangered species. Serafina listens quietly. When I'm done, she speaks slowly. Who would dare to look? One sentence, and I'm shot down again. Yeah, who would dare? The guy who dared is currently a popsicle on the Frostfawn cliffs. No, I say, getting desperate. What I mean is, can you just leave me alone? Let me fend for myself. Okay? No, she replies flatly and immediately. Why not? You're too weak. She looks at me, her gaze surprisingly serious. A stiff breeze could knock you over. If I don't watch you, you won't survive the day. I almost choke. I admit I'm immortal, but I'm in great shape. A stiff breeze could knock me over. This is condescension. Pure, unadulterated condescension. System notification. Condescension from Serafina Blackwood detected. Reward. Power +5. I freeze. Wait, that works? Getting looked down on by her also gives me power? It's not much, but hey, every little bit helps. A new world of possibilities just opened up. Am I really that weak? I ask, puffing out my chest. Weak, she says, concise as ever. System notification. Power +5. So I really couldn't handle a stiff breeze? You could not. System notification. Power plus 5. And I won't survive the day? You will not. System notification. Power plus 5. Holy crap. This is basically an infinite money glitch. Who needs those other idiots? One word from my wife is more efficient than 100 punches. I look at Serafina's beautiful, icy face, and for the first time, find it incredibly endearing. She's my treasure. Ahem. I clear my throat, deciding to press my luck. So, in your opinion, does having a useless person like me around embarrass the Academy? Serafina's brow furrows slightly. Who said you were useless? Her tone has a dangerous edge to it. A shiver runs down my spine. Oh, it went too far. She doesn't seem to like it when I call myself useless. I mean, in everyone else's eyes, I'm just a moocher, a waste of space. I quickly correct. Their eyes are blind, she says. Damn, that line of attack is a dead end. It seems she'll only accept condescension about my physical abilities, not my status. Well, whatever. I've already earned 20 power today. I should be content. Just as I'm about to give up and go back to my sunbathing spot, a student announces a visitor from outside the sanctum. Dean Blackwood, Julian Thorne, the chosen one of the Silverlight Citadel, requests an audience. Julian Thorne? I search my memory. Right. This guy is another one of Serafina's high-profile suitors. And he's the real deal. The Silverlight Citadel is a rival top-tier academy, on the same level as Ethelgard. This chosen one is a famous prodigy, a once-in-a-millennium talent, and apparently handsome to boot. What's he doing here now? I don't need a crystal ball to know he's here to cause trouble. My eyes light up again. Kevin was just an appetizer. This guy, Julian, is the main course. If I can get him to humiliate me in public, my power level is going to skyrocket. Let him in, Serafina says coolly. A moment later, a man in golden robes, radiating an aura of I'm better than you, walks in. He is handsome. I'll give him that. Sharp eyebrows, piercing eyes, the whole package. The second he enters, his gaze locks on his Serafina, the adoration in his eyes impossible to hide. Serafina, I heard you. He stops mid-sentence when he sees me. I'm sitting in a chair next to Serafina's, casually munching on an apple. His expression instantly sours. So you're the mortal? His tone is full of judgment and disdain. I raise an eyebrow. Here we go. I deliberately toss my apple core onto the floor, cross my legs, and give him a look you'd normally reserve for something you found on the bottom of your shoe. And who are you supposed to be? Julian's face turns black. Insolence. A mere mortal dares to be disrespectful to me. A powerful aura explodes from him, pressing down on me. It feels like a mountain just landed on my chest, making it hard to breathe. But inside, I'm laughing hysterically. System. Give me the points. System notification. Humiliation via oppressive aura from Julian Thorne detected. Reward. Power plus 50. 50. I love you, Julian Thorne, more. Don't stop. But the next second, all the pressure vanishes. Serafina had simply lifted her teacup and blown gently on the surface. It was as if an invisible hand had slapped Julian across the face. He goes flying backward, tumbling across the floor several times before coming to a stop. He scrambles to his feet, a trickle of blood at the corner of his mouth, his face a mask of disbelief. Serafina sets her cup down, her voice cold enough to freeze hell over. You dare touch my man. Julian's face cycles through shades of green and white. He glares at me, his eyes filled with venom. And I'm looking at my 50 points with a broken heart. I was so close. If Serafina had waited just one more second, the pressure would have forced me to my knees, and the reward would have definitely doubled. Serafina, you've ruined my plans again. Fuming, I stand up and stalk out of the room. Where are you going? Serafina asks. For a walk. To get some fresh air. I call back without turning around. I'm so tired. All I want is a quiet, peaceful be-down. Why is that so hard? I wander aimlessly through Ethelgard Academy. Julian's little power flex earlier, even though Serafina cut it short, gave me a solid 50 points of power. I can feel a warmth spreading through my body, like a current flowing where there was nothing before. So, this is power. I'm still immortal, but I feel like my physical condition has improved a lot. I decide to find a secluded spot to properly examine this new current. My wandering eventually leads me to the Grand Archives. Ethelgard's archives are said to have the largest collection of magical texts in the entire Ascended world. Two elders flank the entrance, meditating with their eyes closed, looking like a pair of statues. As a mortal, there's no way I can get in. I wasn't planning on it anyway. I just wanted to find a stone bench to sit on for a bit. Just as I sit down, one of the elders opens his eyes. He looks at me, his expression complicated. "Mr. Vance," he says, actually greeting me. "I'm floored." "Hello, elder. Do you wish to enter?" I quickly wave my hands. No, I'm just a mortal. I wouldn't understand any of it." But the elder stands up and walks over to me. "The dean has given a decree. Mr. Vance is permitted to enter any and all places within Ethelgard Academy at his leisure." I am stunned. There's a perk like that. For real. I would not dare deceive you. The gears in my head start turning again. A place like the Grand Archives is bound to be full of arrogant, talented students. If I, a mortal, just waltz in there, what would their reaction be? Scorn. Ridicule. That's just free PowerPoints waiting to be collected. Well, in that case, I'll just take a quick look around, I say, testing the waters. "As you wish." The elder makes a gesture, and the massive doors to the archives swing open silently. I puff out my chest and stride inside. The moment I step through the door, I feel dozens of eyes snap onto me. The archives are silent, save for the soft rustle of turning pages. Every student in there has stopped what they're doing to stare at me, like I'm some kind of freak show. I'm overjoyed. Yes, this is the look. Despise me with all your heart. I clear my throat, casually pull a book titled Fundamentals of Man Induction from a shelf, and pretend to read. A student nearest to me finally breaks. A mortal dares to enter the Grand Archives. His voice isn't loud, but in the silence, it's crystal clear. System notification. Verbal humiliation. Power plus 10. It's working. I pretend I didn't hear him and keep flipping through the book. Oh, what an act. You think he can even read it? He can't even sense mana. What's the point of looking at these texts? Another voice chimes in. System notification. Verbal humiliation. Power plus 10. Quiet. You'll be in trouble if the dean hears you, someone whispers. What's there to be afraid of? I just can't stand watching a useless freeloader strut around in front of us just because he's sleeping with the dean. System notification. Intense verbal humiliation. Power plus 20. This is amazing. This is the life I've always wanted. I feel like a mouse who's fallen into a barrel of cheese. I'm so happy I could faint. I decide to provoke them a little more. I take the fundamentals of mana induction and walk over to the student who called me a freeloader. He jumps, looking at me warily. "Excuse me, brother," I say with a look of humble inquiry. "This book says that to draw mana into the body, one must clear the mind of all distracting thoughts. But my mind is always thinking about what's for dinner. What should I do?" My question is filled with the foolishness of a mortal and is a complete desecration of the sacred art of magic. The student stares at me, dumbfounded. Everyone around us is stunned. Then, a wave of suppressed laughter erupts. "Ha ha! Did you hear the question he just asked? Oh my God, what does he think mana induction is? Ordering takeout. A loser is a loser. You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear." Ding, ding, ding. The notifications in my head are going off like fireworks on the 4th of July. In just a moment, I've gained over 100 power. I'm tingling with excitement. The student I questioned is laughing so hard he's crying. He points at me, gasping for air. You glutton. Magic is a sacred path, an act of defying fate itself. All you can think about is food? What kind of magic can you possibly learn? Go back to your cushy life as a kept man. System notification. Top tier verbal humiliation. Power plus 50. I look at him with eyes full of gratitude. What a guy. Forget about ascending to a higher plane, my friend. Just stay here at Ethelgard and be my personal hype man. I need you. I'm about to say something even dumber to make him curse me out more. Suddenly, the light in the entire Grand Archives dims. A familiar, bone-chilling presence descends upon the room. My heart sinks. Not again. Why is she here again? Wasn't she in the Apex Sanctum? Does she have a GPS tracker on me? All laughter dies in people's throats. The student who was pointing and yelling at me freezes, his smile turning into something uglier than a grimace. Seraphina's figure appears at the entrance. She walks in, step by step, the soft click of her boots on the stone floor echoing in the silence. Each step feels like it's landing on everyone's heart. The temperature in the archives drops to freezing. She stops in front of me. Her gaze sweeps across the faces of the students who are just mocking me. Every person she looks at goes rigid, as if targeted by death itself. Finally, her eyes land on the student who called me a glutton. What did you just say? Her voice is soft, but it carries an undeniable authority. The student drops to his knees with a thud. Dean, I was wrong. I have a foul mouth. I was talking nonsense. He starts banging his head on the floor, the impacts echoing through the hall. Seraphina ignores him. She turns to me, her brow slightly furrowed. They were bullying you. What can I say? I can't just say, nope, they were helping me train. We were having a great time. I can only put on my wounded expression again and give a silent, reluctant nod. Inside, my heart is bleeding. My power, my source of joy. Receiving my confirmation, the last bit of warmth vanishes from Seraphina's eyes. Very well, that's all she says. Then she raises her hand and points a single finger at the kneeling student. An invisible force strikes him. The student doesn't even have time to scream. His entire being seems to shrivel. His hair turns white, his face wrinkles, and he collapses to the floor. His power has been stripped away. Not just his power, but his life force along with it. He went from a young man in his 20s to a decrepit old man on the verge of death. All of you who laughed, Seraphina's voice echoes in the silent archives, report to the Hall of Discipline. 10 years of solitary meditation. You are banned from the Grand Archives for life. The remaining students, their faces ashen, scramble out of the room. In an instant, the massive hall is empty except for me, her, and the old man gasping on the floor. She takes my wrist. Her hand is cold. Let's go. And once again, she's dragging me away. I glance back at the student who aged a lifetime in a second. I don't feel a shred of pity, only endless despair for my lost cause. Sorry, buddy. Next time, remember to stay far, far away from me. I finally understand. Being a trophy husband here is a poison chalice. It's not that I can't handle it. It's that no one else dares to feed me. The apex sanctum. The atmosphere is a little tense. Seraphina is sitting in her chair, not reading, not handling academy affairs, just sitting there silently. I'm standing below, feeling like I'm on pins and needles. After she stripped that student's power in the archives, she didn't say a word the whole way back. But I can tell she's not happy. Not because I was bullied, but for some other reason. She's angry, but I don't know why. She finally says, why did you go to the Grand Archives? I was just looking around. I hedge. What could a mortal possibly understand in the Grand Archives? Her question is sharp. I can't just tell her I was there to attract hate and farm experience points. Can I? I may be immortal, but I want to plan for the future. What if one day you find a way for me to cultivate power? It can't hurt to read up on it and get familiar with the basics. I pull a rather inspiring excuse out of thin air. Seraphina falls silent after hearing it. She looks at me, and an emotion I can't decipher flashes in her eyes. Is that guilt? I must be seeing things. Why would she feel guilty? You want to cultivate? She asks. Of course. Who doesn't want to live forever and be free? I go along with it, putting on a performance worthy of an Oscar. As long as I can get her to lower her guard and stop following me everywhere, I'll say anything. Seraphina is silent again. After a long moment, she sighs. It's the first time I've ever heard her sigh. Ethan, your body. It's very special, she says. Special? How so? My interest is piqued. Am I some kind of hidden genius? You were born with sealed meridians. You cannot hold a single trace of mana. One sentence, and my fantasy comes crashing down. Right, of course. Starting out as the resident weakling. Classic. So, I'm destined to be immortal for my whole life. Yes. She says the word softly, but with finality. I'm a little disappointed, but I get over it quickly. It's better this way. Saves me the effort of training. As long as I slack off, the system will make me strong, better than any genius. I pretend to be dejected, lowering my head. Okay, I understand. Seraphina sees my crestfallen look, and her frown deepens. She stands up from her seat and walks over to me. A faint, cold fragrance wafts from her. She raises her hand, as if to pat my shoulder, but stops halfway and lets it fall back to her side. Even if you can't cultivate, as long as I'm here, no one can harm you. I will protect you for your entire life. Her voice carries the weight of a solemn vow. Her words make my blood run cold. Lady, please don't. If you keep protecting me like this, my system is going to be useless. I have to change her mind. No, I say, lifting my head, my eyes shining with defiance and stubbornness. I don't want your protection. Even if I can't cultivate, I will rely on my own efforts to live with dignity. My speech is so moving, I almost believe it myself. Serafina looks at me, the strange emotion in her eyes deepening. Has she been moved by my speech? What is your dignity? She asks. My dignity is not relying on anyone. Even as a mortal, I must have the backbone of a mortal. I proclaim with passion. Serafina stares at me for a long time, so long that I start to think she's going to praise me for my ambition. Then she says something completely unexpected. I understand. What do you understand? I wonder. Is it because you are a mortal and I am a mage that you feel insecure? Huh. Is it because you feel you're not worthy of me, that you deliberately went to the Grand Archives and used such a clumsy method to provoke those students, to prove that even if you get beaten, you don't need my protection? Everything you've said and done today was to prove your backbone to me, to make me see you in a better light? I'm completely stunned. What is she even talking about? Lady, does your brain work differently from everyone else's? Was I trying to prove my backbone? I was trying to farm power. I look at her face, which clearly says, I see now, I understand everything, and I'm speechless. Has she misunderstood something like a misunderstanding of epic, universe-altering proportions? Ethan, she says suddenly. Yeah, you don't have to do this, she says. You don't need to prove anything to me. I chose you, and it wasn't for your power. No, wait, let me explain. I've seen your backbone. From now on, do whatever you want. Wait, what? I will no longer interfere as I did today. My eyes instantly light up. For real, you're really not going to interfere. This sudden turn of events is so good, I can hardly believe it. Are you serious? A queen does not lie. She turns and walks back to her seat, picking up the glowing tome again. As long as your life is not in danger, I will not involve myself. Oh my God! Have my glory days finally arrived? I look at Serafina's back, so moved I could almost cry. Misunderstanding? Let her misunderstand. As long as it achieves my goal. Let her think I'm some kind of tough guy romantic hero, willing to take a beating for his dignity. What do I care? I suppress my wild joy and give her a deep bow. Thank you, Dean, for your understanding. Serafina doesn't turn around, just gives a soft I joyfully exit the apex sanctum. From this day forward, the sky's the limit. Students of Ethelgard, your dean's consort, is coming for you. Just you wait. I'll be seeing you for a spar very soon with Serafina's royal decree. I feel like I'm walking on air. As long as I don't get myself killed, she won't step in. What's the difference between that and giving me a free pass to farm experience? Humming a little tune, I head straight for the Ethelgard Proving Grounds. The Proving Grounds are where students usually spar and practice their spells. It's the most crowded place, and the easiest place for friction to occur. It's basically a paradise custom-made for me. When I arrive, the place is buzzing with activity. Dozens of Outer Circle students are split into groups, training against each other. The air crackles with colliding mana. My arrival is like a ladle of cold water dumped into a pot of hot oil. The entire Proving Grounds instantly falls silent. Everyone stops what they're doing and turns to look at me in unison. Their gazes are a mix of curiosity, disdain, and mostly fear. It seems my exploits in the Grand Archives have already made the rounds. This won't do. If they're all afraid of me, who's going to humiliate me? I have to take the initiative. I walk to the center of the field, find the most conspicuous spot, and clear my throat. Hello, everyone, brothers and sisters, juniors and seniors. No one speaks. They all just stare at me like I'm a lunatic. I know you all might have some misunderstandings about me, I say with a friendly smile. You think that I, Ethan Vance, am only able to stand here because of the dean. Still no response. But a few people are starting to smirk. Good, a reaction. Today, I came here to tell you all I pause for effect, raising my voice, that you're absolutely right. I am a moocher. My words send a ripple through the crowd. Everyone is stunned. They've probably never seen someone admit to being a kept man so proudly. But my tone shifts. Even as a moocher, I have my dignity. I don't want you all to be so respectful just because of the dean. I want you to treat me like a normal person, like a powerless mortal. I say it with such heartfelt sincerity. So, today, I am setting up a challenge right here. I point to the ground beneath my feet. Anyone who has a problem with me is welcome to come up and spar. We'll keep it friendly, but accidents happen. As long as you don't kill me, I'll take on all comers. That speech was the equivalent of holding my face out and asking to be punched. I refuse to believe this won't provoke them. Sure enough, the crowd starts to stir. Is he crazy? A mortal, setting up a challenge. Seriously, any one of us could take him down in one hit. Is this some kind of trick? Is the dean watching from somewhere nearby? Probably. It's definitely a trap. Whoever goes up there is toast. The students murmur among themselves, but no one dares to step forward. They're all traumatized by Serafina. I start to get anxious. This isn't how it's supposed to go. Just as I'm about to say something even more insulting to egg them on, a loud voice booms out. Well said. That's the spirit. I look over and see a burly, white-bearded old man striding toward me, stroking his beard with an appreciative look. It's Elder Wallace from the Hall of Discipline. He's in charge of the Academy's rules and is known for being impartial and unyielding. Even Serafina has to show him some respect. What's he doing here? Mr. Vance, your actions show great character. Elder Wallace says, his voice like a bell. This is how a student of Ethelgard should be. Fearless in the face of power, daring to challenge oneself. He seems to have misunderstood something, too. You praise me too highly, Elder, I say, having no choice but to play along. Elder Wallace turns to the other students, his expression sinking. And you, what are you all standing around for? Mr. Vance, a mortal, has such courage. Yet you, as mages, don't even have the guts to step up for a friendly spar? You bring shame upon Ethelgard. His scolding makes the students blush. Elder, it's not that we don't dare, we're just afraid. One student mutters. Afraid of what? Elder Wallace glares. Afraid of the dean? Oomph. The dean is a person of immense stature. Do you think she would interfere in a simple spar between juniors? You underestimate her magnanimity. Furthermore, he says, thumping his chest, today I will act as the official witness. Anyone who steps up to spar with Mr. Vance, as long as it is a fair match and you pull your punches, I will personally take responsibility for any trouble that follows. When I hear that, I want to run over and give Elder Wallace a big kiss. Elder, you're a lifesaver. With his guarantee, the students' worries instantly vanish. Are you serious, Elder? Someone asks. My word is my bond. With that, the crowd erupts. Everyone's eyes light up as they look at me, like I'm a juicy steak. Everyone knows that the dean's consort is a total pushover. Before, they were afraid of Serafina. Now, with the Elder of Discipline as a guarantor, it's the perfect chance to vent all their frustrations. Beating me up would not only let them blow off steam, but also show off their courage in front of the Elder. It's a win-win. I'll do it. A tall, brawny student is the first to jump out. He gives me a fist-to-palm salute, his face beaming with suppressed excitement. Outer Circle student, Big Mike at your service. Please, teach me a lesson. I look at his fists, which are the size of dinner plates, and grin from ear to ear. Likewise, likewise. Ding. Challenge quest initiated. Quest. Accept challenges from 10 or more students on the proving grounds. Reward. A final reward will be calculated based on the total damage sustained. I look at Big Mike like he's a walking bag of experience points. Come on, baby. Don't go easy on me just because I'm a delicate flower. Big Mike is a straightforward guy. When he says he wants a lesson, he means it. He steps up, gives me a serious bow, and gets into a stance. Mr. Vance, this is my raging bull fist. It's all power, not much finesse. Be careful. With a shout, he throws a punch. The speed isn't fast, and the force isn't overwhelming. I can clearly see the trajectory of his fist, but I can't dodge. If I dodge, how am I supposed to complete the quest? I stand my ground, ready to take the hit. Elder Wallace nods in satisfaction from the sidelines. That boy Big Mike knows his limits. The surrounding students hold their breath. They all want to see how long I, a mortal, can last. Thud. The punch lands squarely on my chest. A huge force sends me flying backward, and I crash to the ground several feet away. My chest is on fire, and I can taste blood in the back of my throat. But I hold it in. Ding! Sustained one raging bull fist attack from outer circle student Big Mike. Damage assessment. Minor. Reward. Power plus 30. 30. Just one hit, and I get 30. Worth it. Totally worth it. This beating is paying off. I wobble back to my feet, brushing the dirt from my lips. Nice punch. I give Big Mike a thumbs up, forcing a resilient smile. Again, Big Mike is stunned. The students below are stunned. Elder Wallace's eyes are practically overflowing with admiration. Excellent. What a man. His physical resilience is remarkable, but his willpower is even more so. If this boy could cultivate, his future would be limitless. I want to laugh. What resilience? I'm just sacrificing my body for power. Seeing that I can still stand and don't seem seriously hurt, Big Mike gets a bit bolder. My apologies, Mr. Vance. He throws another punch. Thud. I go flying again. Ding. Power plus 30. I get back up. Again. Thud. Ding. Power plus 30. After taking 5 punches in a row, I've gained 150 power. Big Mike is already breathing heavily, looking at me like I'm some kind of monster. He can't figure out how a mortal can be so durable. He doesn't know that with every punch, the warm current inside me grows stronger, constantly repairing my body. At this point, the more I get hit, the more energized I feel. Are we still going? Big Mike asks, panting. We are. Why stop now? I wave my hand grandly, but he doesn't dare to hit me anymore. He's worried that if he keeps going, he'll actually kill me, and not even Elder Wallace will be able to save him. I give up. He gives me a salute and jumps off the stage in defeat. First experience bag, cashed in. I stand on the stage and look around. Who's next? My voice is full of provocation. The students look at each other. Big Mike isn't weak among them. If he can't even make a dent in me, what's the point of anyone else trying? Plus, my willingness to get beaten to a pulp is genuinely a little scary. The situation becomes awkward. Elder Wallace can't stand it. What? Is that it? A group of grown men, less courageous than Mr. Vance, immortal. His words strike a nerve. I'll go. Another student leaps onto the stage. This one is skinnier and uses a sword. Outer circle student, Rick, at your service. He's craftier than Big Mike. He probably realized I'm physically tough, so he avoids brute force. He flicks his wooden sword, sending a flurry of strikes toward my arms and legs. He's not trying to injure me, just to make me look foolish. Rip. Tear. My clothes are sliced open in several places. Ding. Sustained humiliating attack from Rick. Reward. Power plus 15. Wow, even getting my clothes ripped gives points, though not as many. I just stand there and let him slice away. Soon, I'm in rags, looking like a beggar. The students below burst into laughter. Ding. 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 The notifications are going off again. I'm ecstatic on the inside, but my face is a mask of defiance. After a while, Rick sees that I'm still standing straight without even flinching, and he gets bored. You're tough. He jumps off the stage, too. After him, another 7 or 8 students come up. They use whips, throw dust, kick my legs. Their methods are varied, but the goal is the same, to humiliate me in any way possible. I accept it all. By the time the 10th person leaves the stage, I'm bruised and swollen, my clothes are in tatters, and I look as miserable as can be. But my system interface has undergone a massive transformation. Host, Ethan Vance power level. Mana circulation stage 1, 680 out of 1000, quest. Challenge quest completed October 10th. Calculating reward, based on total damage sustained. Overall rating is excellent. Reward, Aegis of Indomitability, beginner tome, power plus 500. Holy crap, I stare at the reward, my breathing quickening. Aegis of Indomitability. Isn't this technique tailor-made for me? And 500 power. With what I already have, I've broken through the mortal barrier and reached mana circulation stage 1. It's the lowest level of mage, but it's a qualitative leap. I suppress my excitement and give a deep bow to the crowd. Thank you all for the lesson. Then, I turn and bow to Elder Wallace. Thank you, Elder, for making this possible. Elder Wallace looks at my miserable state with a mixture of pity and admiration. Good lad, go and rest. From this day on, if I hear anyone speak ill of you behind your back, I'll be the first to punish them. His words warm my heart. This elder is a real one. I limp off the stage, leaving the proving grounds under the admiring gazes of all the students. Today's beating was well worth it. Now, I need to find a place to study my aegis of indomitability. I find a secluded grove and sit down cross-legged. With a thought, the system interface appears before me. The icon for aegis of indomitability, beginner tome, is glowing. Learn this technique. Yes, I say without hesitation. A massive stream of information floods my mind. It's a series of complex incantations and diagrams of a human body's energy channels. Before, I wouldn't have understood a single word. But now, I'm a stage 1 mage. The current in my body, mana, is weak, but it's enough to comprehend this information. I follow the instructions and begin to circulate the mana. The faint current flows like a tiny stream through my previously barren energy channels. Everywhere it passes, I feel a tingling, aching sensation. I grit my teeth and push through it. The tome says this is a normal reaction to opening up one's channels. Cycle after cycle, my injuries, nourished by the mana, begin to heal at a visible rate. The bruises on my face fade, and the cuts on my body scab over. About an hour passes. I open my eyes and exhale a long breath. The breath is a murky gray color. I feel completely reborn, refreshed, and clear-headed. I clench my fists, feeling a new sense of strength. So this is the aegis of indomitability? It's incredible. And this is just the beginner's version. If I master it, won't I be truly indestructible? I excitedly stand up, find a small tree about as thick as a bowl, activate the technique, and punch it. Thump! With a dull thud, the small tree shakes violently, showering leaves to the ground. My fist is completely fine. Not even a scratch. I look at the shallow fist print on the trunk and nod in satisfaction. From now on, I can defend myself. I'm still weak, but at least next time I get beaten up, I'll be even more durable. Feeling pleased with myself, I decide to head back for a good night's sleep. Just as I leave the grove, someone stops me. It's Elder Wallace from the Hall of Discipline. He's carrying a container. Mr. Vance. He smiles warmly when he sees me. Elder Wallace, I say, quickly bowing. Your injuries? He looks surprised to see me completely unharmed. Oh, I'm tough. I put some ointment on when I got back, and it's all healed up, I say, making up an excuse. I can't exactly tell him I learned a divine technique and healed myself, can I? Elder Wallace clicks his tongue in amazement. A true prodigy. A prodigy. Such physical resilience. It's an injustice of the heavens that you cannot cultivate. He looks genuinely regretful. Did you need something, Elder? I ask. Oh, I saw you were injured today and had the kitchens prepare a restorative tonic for you. He hands me the container. Take it back and drink it while it's hot. It's good for you. I open it and see a steaming bowl of soup, emitting a rich aroma of herbs and mana. It's clearly no ordinary food. I am genuinely touched. This old man is actually a really nice guy. Thank you, Elder. Don't thank me. Elder Wallace waves his hand. Today you taught all the students a lesson. You showed them what character is. I should be thanking you. From now on, if anyone in the academy bullies you, you can find me. I'll back you up. I nod repeatedly. With him on my side, I'll have even more courage to stir up trouble in the future. After saying goodbye to Elder Wallace, I carry the container back to the Apex Sanctum. As soon as I walk in, I see Seraphina sitting there. She looks like she hasn't moved. She sees me, then her eyes fall on the container in my hand, and her brow furrows imperceptibly. You were injured? Huh? Oh no, just minor scrapes. They're all healed. Where did the container come from? Elder Wallace gave it to me, said it was to help me recover. I answer honestly. Seraphina falls silent. She looks at me, her expression complicated. What did he say to you? Nothing much. Just praised my character and told me to find him if I have any problems. Seraphina's expression seems to grow even colder. I am confused. What's wrong? Isn't it a good thing that Elder Wallace is looking out for me? Does she have a problem with him? Come here, she says. I walk over to her. She reaches out and grabs my wrist. A cold stream of mana instantly flows into my body. I panic. What is she doing? She's not going to find out I can cultivate, is she? I've only just learned the basics of my aegis of indomitability. If she finds out, how am I going to find excuses to get beaten up in the future? The mana circulates through my body and then retreats. I watch her nervously. She lets go of my hand, her face unreadable. Superficial wounds. They have indeed healed. I breathe a sigh of relief. It seems my own mana is too weak for her to have noticed. Or maybe she just wasn't looking for it. In her eyes, I'm just a mortal with sealed meridians. Don't drink the tonic, she says. Why not? This is good stuff, I say, reluctant to part with it. A mortal's body is too weak. It cannot handle such potent tonics. With a flick of her wrist, the container flies from my hand and lands perfectly in a waste bin in the corner. I am speechless. My super tonic. From now on, stay away from Elder Wallace, she adds. Why? I'm even more confused now. Seraphina glances at me, her eyes dark. He has ulterior motives. I'm completely lost. Elder Wallace, that upright and impartial old man, has ulterior motives? What could he possibly want from me? My good looks? My talent for mooching? You only need to remember, Seraphina says, standing up and walking past me, that in this academy, the only person you can trust is me. Her voice drifts into my ears. I watch her leave, a strange feeling nagging at me. Is she jealous? Jealous of a white-bearded old man? No way. After the battle at the Proving Grounds, my status at Ethelgard Academy underwent a subtle change. The outer circle, students no longer looked at me with disdain and fear, but with respect. They saw me as a man of character, a tough guy. While I was a bit disappointed that they no longer troubled me. Thankfully, my reputation among the inner circle students was still that of a useless man who relies on a woman. This gave me room to maneuver. One day, I'm in the back hills practicing my aegis of indomitability. After learning the basics, I discovered this technique was practically made for me. It doesn't require absorbing ambient mana, but rather improves through body tempering. And how do you temper the body? By getting hit. The harder the beating, the faster the technique circulates, and the quicker my physical strength increases. Doesn't that fit perfectly with my system? I'm practically the chosen one of trophy husbands. Just as I'm practicing how to look more durable while punching a large rock, two inner circle students walk by. They see me, and after a moment of surprise, their faces twist into sneers. Well, if it isn't the dean's consort, taking a break from warming the dean's bed to pick a fight with a rock. Ding! Verbal humiliation, power plus 10. It's starting. I immediately stop, turn to them, and put on my best "you're right, but I'm not happy about it" face. What I do is none of your business. Huh, got a temper, do we? The other student scoffs. A mortal should just stay in the apex sanctum like a good little canary, not come out here and embarrass himself. Ding! Verbal humiliation, power plus 10. I'm warning you. Watch your mouth, I say, pretending to be angry. Or what? You think you deserve respect. The two of them get more and more worked up, unleashing a torrent of insults. The system notifications in my head are ringing nonstop. This is great. When they finally run out of steam, I speak slowly. Are you done? They're taken aback. If you're done, then get lost, I say coolly. You, the more hot-headed of the two, is about to attack. The other one grabs him. Brother, calm down. Remember what happened in the Grand Archives. The one who wanted to attack instantly cools down. He gives me a venomous look and scoffs. Useless. All you could do is hide behind the dean. If you have any guts, why don't you join the inner circle trials in 3 days? If you pass, I'll get on my knees and apologize. The inner circle trials, an idea sparks in my mind. This is a perfect opportunity. An event like that will be crowded. There will be plenty of people who can't stand me. If I participate, think of all the humiliation points I could rack up. The thought alone is exhilarating. The inner circle trials. Can a mortal like me even participate? I ask deliberately. The rules state that anyone over 16 can participate. It says nothing about mortals being excluded. The student says, thinking I'm scared, which only makes him more smug. What, are you afraid? Who said I'm afraid? I jut out my chin. I'm in. In 3 days at the inner circle trials, Ethan Vance will be there. Good. We'll be waiting. The two of them leave, laughing loudly. They're undoubtedly going to spread this hilarious news around. I don't care at all. I return to the apex sanctum and find Seraphina. I want to participate in the inner circle trials. I state plainly. Seraphina is polishing her sword. It's a pure white blade that radiates a cold energy. She pauses at my words. Nonsense. I'm not being nonsensical. I say seriously. Even Elder Wallace praised my character. I can't let him down. I have to prove to everyone that I, Ethan Vance, am not useless. I pull out the dignity card again. I found it's particularly effective on her. Sure enough, Seraphina falls silent. She looks at me with a hint of helplessness in her eyes, and maybe indulgence? The trials consist of the path of illusions and the celestial ladder, she says. The path of illusions tests one's character. As a mortal, you might be able to pass, but the celestial ladder requires you to withstand immense magical pressure with each step. Without any power, you won't even be able to take the first step. Even if I can't, I have to go. I say resolutely. Even if I can only stand at the bottom, I'll be there. I want everyone to see my determination. Seraphina looks at me deeply. Fine. She actually agreed. I'll allow it. Thank you, Dean. I am overjoyed. However, I have a condition. What condition? She retrieves a golden mail shirt from her storage ring. It's as thin as a cicada's wing and covered in intricate runes. It's clearly a top-tier artifact. Wear this. This is the Heartgar vest, a high-grade artifact. It can withstand a full power blow from a Soul Core Stage mage, she says. I suck in a breath. Soul Core Stage, that's a top-tier master in the magical world. And she's giving an artifact this powerful to me. A mortal? What a waste. I won't wear it. I refuse immediately. Are you kidding? If I wear this, how am I supposed to get beaten up? That's like playing a game on God mode. There's no fun in that. You must wear it, she says, her tone leaving no room for argument. I told you, I want to rely on myself. Wear it, and I'll let you go, she says. If you don't, you can stay here in the Apex Sanctum. It's a blatant threat. I look at her unyielding face, then at the shimmering golden vest. I am torn. If I wear it, I'll miss out on chances to get hit. If I don't, I won't even get to participate in the trials. I have to choose the lesser of two evils. Fine, I'll wear it, I say through gritted teeth. Whatever. I can just take it off when I get there. Seraphina seems to read my mind. She walks over and puts the vest on me herself. As soon as it touches me, it molds to my body and becomes invisible. This vest is now bound to your soul. Only I can remove it, she says. I am speechless. You win. Go on, she says coolly. Don't embarrass me. What else can I say? I leave the Apex Sanctum, feeling dejected. But then I think about it. It's not so bad. The vest only protects my body, not my face. I'll just have them aim for the head. I'm a genius. The day of the Inner Circle trials arrived. The central plaza of Ethelgard Academy was packed. All the inner and outer circle students, and even many proctors and elders, were present. It was the biggest event of the year. Outer circle students who passed would be promoted to the inner circle, receiving a huge boost in status and resources. My goal today, however, wasn't promotion. It was to become the laughingstock of the entire academy. When Seraphina and I appeared in the plaza together, the entire place fell silent. Countless eyes focused on me. Their gazes were filled with shock, confusion, ridicule, and schadenfreude. Is he really here? A mortal participating in the inner circle trials? Am I seeing things? The dean is with him. What does that mean? Is she backing him up? What good would that do? The celestial ladder doesn't care who you are. Without power, you can't climb it. The murmurs buzz around me like mosquitoes. Ding, ding, ding. My system interface was being spammed with notifications. Power +5, +5, +5. It wasn't much per person, but with so many people added up, in just a few moments, I had gained over 100 power. I was secretly delighted, but on the outside, I maintained a look of I'm under a lot of pressure, but I'm trying to stay calm. Seraphina, at my side, ignored the chatter completely. Her presence was just to keep things in order. With her here, no one would dare to physically attack me. But she couldn't and wouldn't stop the verbal insults, which was perfect for me. The one presiding over the trials was Elder Wallace. He was surprised to see me, but then a smile of approval spread across his face. He walked over and patted my shoulder. Mr. Vance, you actually came. I knew I wasn't mistaken about you. His gesture shocked the surrounding students even more. Even the impartial Elder Wallace admired him. What kind of magic did this loser possess? Elder, my participation. Is it against the rules? I asked deliberately. Not at all. How could it be? Elder Wallace's voice boomed for all to hear. The Academy rules state that we judge character and perseverance, not origin or power. Mr. Vance's presence here shows that he has a heart that is not afraid of difficulties. You should all learn from him. I had to stifle a laugh. Elder Wallace, you're my ultimate wingman. The more you praise me, the more they'll resent me, and the more they'll insult me. Sure enough, after his speech, the notifications in my head started ringing again. The trials officially began. First event, the Path of Illusions. It was a path paved with white jade, looking perfectly ordinary. But anyone who walked on it would be trapped in various illusions, testing the strength of their will. Greed, anger, obsession, love, hate, evil, desire. All 7 emotions would be infinitely magnified. The slightest waver in one's mind would lead to failure. The students lined up and began to walk the path. Some took only a few steps before they were drenched in sweat and had to retreat. Others made it halfway before they started babbling incoherently and had to be dragged away by the elders. Only a handful managed to complete the entire path. Soon it was my turn. I took a deep breath and, under the watchful eyes of the entire plaza, stepped onto the Path of Illusions. The moment I stepped on, the scene before me changed. I was back on Earth in my previous life. I had become the richest man in the world, surrounded by beautiful women, living a life of unimaginable luxury. Countless people adored and flattered me. Anything I wanted, I could have. This is an illusion. This is paradise. I lay on a bed piled high with cash, a beauty in each arm, completely content. Cultivation? Getting beaten up? To hell with all that. I'm just going to lie here and enjoy myself. In the plaza, everyone stared at me on the Path of Illusions, completely dumbfounded. From the moment I stepped on, I had been walking forward at a leisurely pace, as if I were taking a stroll in a garden. There was even a look of blissful, slightly lecherous satisfaction on my face. The illusions that could break even the most talented students seemed to have no effect on me. In less than the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, I had reached the end. Elder Wallace was so shocked, his beard was trembling. This, a will as clear as a mirror. This boy's character is so pure, unswayed by temptation, unmoved by illusion. A prodigy, a true prodigy. Even Seraphina was looking at me, a rare glimmer of light in her icy eyes. Only I knew the truth. It wasn't that my will was strong. It was that I had so much fun in the illusion that the illusion itself got bored and kicked me out. The illusion probably never expected to encounter someone with so little ambition, someone who just wanted to slack off and enjoy life. It threw everything at me, money, women, power, and I accepted it all without any resistance. The illusion probably thought, this is boring. There's no challenge here, so just let me pass. Regardless, I had passed the first test. The entire plaza was dead silent. The people who had been mocking me now looked like they had seen a ghost. A mortal had passed the Path of Illusions. It was unbelievable. I stood at the finish line, looking at their shocked faces, feeling helpless. This is bad. I've overdone it. I was planning on failing spectacularly in the first round. Now, not only did I not fail, but I've become a prodigy. How am I supposed to be a laughingstock now? The result of the Path of Illusions shocked everyone. I, Ethan Vance, a mortal, had not only passed, but I had done so in the shortest time and with the most relaxed posture. Now, no one dared to mock me openly. They looked at me with a mixture of awe and confusion. They couldn't understand it. But for me, this was not good news. If no one mocks me, how am I supposed to get power? No, in the second round, I must reclaim my lost honor. Second event, the Celestial Ladder. In the center of the plaza, a towering white jade staircase appeared out of thin air. It had 999 steps, reaching up into the clouds. The Celestial Ladder tests a mage's foundation and perseverance. Elder Wallace's voice echoed. With each step, the magical pressure increases. The higher you climb, the greater your potential. The passing standard is 300 steps. The students began to climb. Most of them got stuck around the 2, to 300-step mark, unable to go any further, forced to their knees by the pressure. Only a few of the most talented inner circle students could climb past 500 steps. The best result so far was from the lead disciple, a man named Leo, who reached 680 steps, earning gasps of admiration from the crowd. When everyone had finished, only I was left. All eyes were on me once again. So what if his character is strong? The celestial ladder tests real power. Exactly. He's immortal without a trace of mana in his body. He won't even be able to withstand the pressure of the first step. Just wait and see. He's about to make a fool of himself. The suppressed ridicule started to bubble up again. Hearing these words, I felt a sense of relief. Yes, that's it. Come on, despise me. I walked to the bottom of the celestial ladder and looked up at the seemingly endless steps. Then, I did something no one expected. I didn't start climbing. I sat down cross-legged at the base of the first step. Everyone was dumbfounded. What is he doing? He sat down. Is he giving up? No, if he was giving up, he would just leave. Why is he sitting there? Even Elder Wallace was confused. He frowned and asked, Mr. Vance, what is the meaning of this? I closed my eyes and replied with a look of profound mystery. Elder, must one use their feet to climb the celestial ladder? Elder Wallace was stunned. What else? Where the mind can go, the body can follow, I said coolly. I had begun my long-planned performance. I had no idea which fantasy novel I had stolen that line from. All that mattered was that it sounded cool. Elder Wallace looked thoughtful. The surrounding students, however, were in an uproar. He's lost his mind. He's definitely lost his mind. Where the mind can go. Who does he think he is? A reincarnated God King. What show-off? A useless attention seeker. Ding. Intense verbal humiliation. Power plus 20 ding. Top-tier verbal humiliation. Power plus 50. I was ecstatic. This was exactly the effect I was going for. I closed my eyes, pretending to meditate, but I was actually communicating with the system. System, is there any way to make it look like I'm climbing the ladder? Ding. Detecting host's intense desire to show off. Recommended purchase. Phantom projection service. Price, 1,000 power. Effect, creates a phantom of the host on the celestial ladder. The number of steps climbed by the phantom will be counted as the host's score. Holy crap, there's a service like that. It's perfect for me. 1,000 power was a bit steep, but I had just earned a bunch, so I could afford it. Buy. Ding. Purchase successful. 1,000 power deducted. Phantom generated. The next second, something strange happened on the celestial ladder. A figure that looked exactly like me appeared on the first step. What is that? A clone? No, it's a phantom. Oh my god. He really is just sitting there while a phantom climbs the ladder for him. Everyone was stunned by the scene. The phantom climbed step by step at a steady, unhurried pace. 100 steps, 200 steps, 300 steps. Passed. The phantom didn't stop. 400 steps, 500 steps, 600 steps. The entire plaza had fallen silent. Everyone was staring at the figure as if they were being choked. 680 steps. Tied with the lead disciple, Leo. Leo's face had turned purple. The phantom was still climbing. 700 steps, 800 steps, 900 steps. When the phantom finally stepped onto the 999th step and stood at the top, looking down on the crowd, you could have heard a pin drop in the plaza. Everyone was petrified. Elder Wallace had pulled out several strands of his beard. His mouth was hanging open wide enough to fit an egg. To ascend with the mind alone. This is a legendary state. I have witnessed it with my own eyes today. Even Seraphina's eternally icy face showed a rare expression of disbelief. She looked at me sitting on the ground, then at the phantom at the top of the ladder, her eyes filled with shock. I was laughing hysterically on the inside. This projection service is amazing. I give myself 100 out of 100 for that performance. I slowly opened my eyes, pretending to have just finished my meditation, and let out a long breath. Then, I stood up and, facing the stunned Elder Wallace, gave a humble salute. Elder, I have not failed my mission. I trust one have passed this second test. The trials were over. The result was undisputed. I, Ethan Vance, a mortal, had passed the inner circle trials in a way that had never been seen before and would likely never be seen again, becoming the first mortal inner circle student in the history of Ethelgard Academy. The entire academy was in an uproar. Legends about me began to spread at an alarming rate. Some said I was the reincarnation of an ancient master, here to experience the mortal world. Some said I was a child of destiny, blessed by fate, which was why I could perform miracles. And some even said I was Seraphina's secret love child. That rumor was quickly silenced by a bolt of her ice magic. In short, no one dared to call me useless anymore. Their gazes had changed from disdain to awe and even admiration. I was not happy. Not happy at all. This was not how things were supposed to go. My humiliation points, my power, my grand plan to slack off, all ruined by that stupid phantom projection service. I had become a celebrity in the academy. Everywhere I went, people would bow and greet me. Greetings, senior brother Ethan. Senior brother, you are a true inspiration to us all. Hearing these compliments felt like daggers in my heart. Stop praising me, please. Just insult me. But no one dared. My life as a moocher was officially over. I returned to the apex sanctum, filled with anxiety. Seraphina was there. The way she looked at me was completely different. Before, it was a cold look with a hint of helplessness. Now, it was a look of shock mixed with curiosity, and in that curiosity, there was a sparkling quality that I couldn't decipher. Who are you? She asked. It was the third time she had asked me that question today. I metan vance, uncertainty. A mortal could not possibly ascend with the mind alone, she said. Maybe. I'm just a 1 in a billion talent. I had to keep up the lie. Seraphina didn't press further. She just watched me quietly. Her gaze made me feel uneasy. Come here, she said. I walked over to her again. She grabbed my wrist and sent a stream of mana into my body. This time, it was more thorough, more forceful. She scanned my body a dozen times, so meticulously that she probably knew what I had for dinner last night. Finally, she let go, her brow furrowed. Strange, not a single trace of mana. She was lost in thought. I didn't dare to speak, afraid I would say something wrong and give myself away. After a long time, it seemed she had come to a conclusion. She looked up at me, her gaze incredibly serious. Ethan, I don't care who you were before or what secrets you have. From this day forward, you are my man. That will never change. I was stunned. What does that mean? Is she confessing her feelings? Wait, lady, I thought we agreed on a purely transactional, emotionless trophy husband relationship. I will give you the best resources in the world, she said. Techniques, elixirs, artifacts, anything you want as long as I have it. I don't want them. I instinctively refused. All I want is a good beating. You must take them, she said firmly. Your talent should not be wasted. I will make you a true master, someone who can stand by my side, not hide behind me. I understood now. She was impressed by my astonishing talent. She wants to train me. This is bad. This is really, really bad. If she's determined to train me, how am I supposed to slack off? How can I be a proper, useless trophy husband? My system missions, my grand plan for ascension, are they all going to be ruined? I looked at Seraphina's face, which was practically glowing with "I believe in you, kid." And for the first time, I felt a genuine sense of terror. This woman, she wants to destroy my dream. No, I have to do something to change her mind. I have to make her see that I am truly, irredeemably useless. A grand plan began to form in my mind. My plan was simple. Ruin everything. Seraphina wants to give me resources and train me. Fine, I'll take them. And then I'll waste all these priceless treasures in the most idiotic ways imaginable. I want her to see with her own eyes that I'm a complete waste, a piece of driftwood, a pile of useless mud. The operation began. The next day, Seraphina had a pile of things delivered. There was a 9 revolutions golden elixir, said to be able to completely reshape one's body, a Bodhi seed, capable of enhancing one's comprehension, and a tome with a very impressive title, the Inferno Sutra. I looked at these items, which people outside would kill for, and felt nothing. In front of Seraphina, I picked up the golden elixir. So this is the legendary pill that can grant a new life? I asked with feigned curiosity. Yes. Then I broke the pill in half. I ate one half and crumbled the other half into a potted plant in the corner. Sharing is caring, I said with a grin. Seraphina's mouth twitched visibly. The plant began to grow at a freakish rate, until it finally exploded with a soft pop. She said nothing. Next, I picked up the Bodhi seed. I heard this thing is supposed to calm the mind. Yes. I rolled it around in my hand. It had a nice feel. Then I found a piece of string, threaded it through, and hung it around my neck. Makes a nice necklace. Seraphina's expression darkened another shade. Finally, there was the Inferno Sutra. I flipped through a few pages. Ugh, so many words. It's given me a headache. I casually tossed the book into the nearby brazier. Burning it for warmth is much more practical. Whoosh! The flames in the brazier instantly turned golden, almost blowing the roof off the apex sanctum. Seraphina's face was beyond dark. The very air around her was beginning to crystallize. I was a little scared, but I kept my nonchalant expression. Is it getting hot in here? Seraphina closed her eyes and took a deep, slow breath. I thought she was about to strike me down. I was even prepared to be obliterated by a single slap. But when she opened her eyes, she just gave me a cold look. Is that all? Huh. If there's anything else you want to waste, bring it all out now, she said. I was dumbfounded. She's not angry. She doesn't see me as a useless waste? Is her tolerance level a little too high? My plan? Has it failed? That's all I mumbled. Good. Seraphina stood up and walked over to me. I thought she was finally going to teach me a lesson. Instead, she reached out and straightened my slightly messy collar. Her movements were gentle. Ethan, she said, looking me in the eye, I don't care if you're doing this to hide your past or to test my limits. I will only tell you one thing. From the day I chose you, what's mine is yours. Use it however you wish. Even if you burn the entire Ethelgard Academy to the ground, I will simply help you build a new one. She turned and left, leaving me alone, utterly bewildered. I stared at her back, my mind a complete blank. I think I've made a huge mistake. Not only did I fail to make her disappointed in me, but I've somehow made her fall even more deeply in love with me. She seems to have interpreted my wasteful behavior as some kind of profound, purposeful, soul-testing performance art. What is going on? I collapsed onto the floor, looking at my completely motionless system interface, wanting to cry, but having no tears left. I really just want to be a useless bum, take a few beatings, and then ascend to a higher plane. Why is it so hard? Seraphina, you woman, what do you want from me? Just let me go.